park. And as you can see, there already seems to be a dead organism sitting on top of the O layer, which eventually over time, after it decomposes, will make its way down to the A layer, which is underneath this top layer of soil right here. As you can see, we have a river meander, which seems to have a conference right there where the one stream splits into two, and one goes off into one direction and this one goes off into another direction. The reason why this river is called a meander is because the fastest flow of water is in the middle of the river, while the slowest flow of water is on the outside of the river right here. As you can see, the inside of the river is moving way faster the further it goes down, closer towards that other bank on that far side, while when it goes off to the side right here, it slows down, not going as fast as it would if it was in the middle of the meander. What I am currently standing on is a oxbow. The reason why it is called an oxbow is because there are two different streams right there that block each side of this small piece of land that I am currently standing on. As we see right here, there is no current flowing at the moment, but it just so happens that the water seems to be sitting on top of the soil, which means that the area that I'm standing on currently is not saturated by the water, but that area over there where the water is sitting on top of, that hasn't fully infiltrated the ground, is water that has been 100% saturated. And since the water is sitting above the ground and has not infiltrated, this would be considered to be groundwater. You can see these ducks right here benefit from the groundwater due to all the extra insects and other good grub that they are able to eat. Furthermore, this groundwater seems to be providing enough water to allow all of these luscious plants and everything to grow. As we can see right here, this river seems to have not the strongest current, but a pretty strong one to carry more on the side of smaller sediments than larger sediments. And that is because, again, the current is not super strong, but it is pretty strong. As we can see on the inside of the river itself, right there, the current seems to be the strongest compared to out here on the outside of the river where the current is not so strong. So on the inside would be the best place to find smaller sediments being decomposed or eroded through the river, all out until the current is weak, unlike larger sediments which would not really move as far due to the weak current. Due to the denudation of the rock surface of the earth and the weathering that has taken place, we can see that pieces of rock have broken off in areas, or has weathered down due to it being so soft rather than jagged. In certain areas, as you can see right here, there are very rough, jagged edges, which could possibly be due to either A, this plant growing right here, which expands the rock and forcing it to break, or it could be due to other small pieces of debris. For instances, all the rocks laying around on the ground right here could have easily chipped off a piece. And also, as we can see, due to mechanical weathering, for instance, rain falling down from up top, down below, reaching into the cracks and everything, we can see even more weathering taking place right around here. You can see, if you follow along the rock path, Right here, straight above me, what looks like a little cliff, is actually a runoff for streams. So when it rains here in San Antonio, the water flows down. As you can see, it's already been eroded. Comes down here. As you can see, the rocks and all the sediments. And it actually splits off into two. Right there and right there as well. Creating actually an oxbow, which would be the island that is in between both of the paths. For instance, the conference is what you call when two streams break off. One goes in one direction and one goes in the other direction, making its way over there, further behind the trees, to the actual river itself. And all the rocks that are creating the path to the river are the sediments that were being moved due to the velocity and the strong currents, making its way all the way over there to the river.